Hello YouTube, RJ. Hey, if you watched my last video on the IT28 restoration, you'll know that I had to split that video in two, and this is part two of that video. If you haven't seen it, jump back and watch part one. So now what you're going to see is we're going to pick up right where I was. I just got done checking all the resistors, changing one that I wasn't happy with. Let's get right to it. All right, so I got that resistor changed, and it's getting kind of late, so I'm going to knock off. Okay, I'm back and got started today. First thing I did was I took my resistor printout that I did last evening, and I went through and made sure of the tolerances, and I found that everything is good, other than the resistor that I did change already. So that's done, and I will go ahead and do the capacitor change, but I've kind of thought about it over the evening, and I've decided to, I don't want to jump on that quite yet. I want to do a couple other things. One is I want to clean these switches. You can get here where you can see, you've got this rotary switch here. You've got this vertical rotary switch here. You've got a switch in here. And you've got some switches and stuff. And I think I'm going to start out with this bridge discharge leakage switch here. I'm going to go ahead and unscrew him where I can get to him, to the contacts, and clean him up, put him back. And I'm just going to work through. So I'll let you hang out with me while I get this one out. Let's get him off and see how we make out with that. So let me get this unscrewed. Okay, what I'm gonna have to do is get a little deox it, get just a tiny little bit. You don't want to go crazy because you don't want to get soaked into the wafer of the switch. You just want the contact. And let's start out with just a touch right there. Don't know if I can get a good view for you guys. I'm sorry, but I can hardly see what I'm doing for myself, to be honest with you. This stuff was so bad that I have pulled out my little brush I got from AliExpress on one of my AliExpress orders not long ago. And I don't know what you can see, but it's cleaning up nicely. I got a little deox on there, let it set for a few minutes, and now I'm using this little brush just to clean it up a little bit. You can see how nasty, maybe you can make out how nasty it is over here and where I've cleaned, and I'm just working away on cleaning. So this is taking a lot of time. I'm not going to tie you up, but I wanted to show you what I'm doing, how I'm having to go through this. It's going to take a while to do all these, but it'll be well worth it to have a reliable device for probably the rest of my life. So I'll be back when I get all these switches cleaned up. Okay, I got all these switches and rotary switches and everything clean. The banana jacks cleaned. The sockets for the tubes cleaned. And that took quite a while. So all that's done. I also off camera went ahead and tested the tubes. I can't test the I tube on my tube tester, but we'll see that when we get it on. The other two tubes, they're like brand new tubes. So now it's time to do the capacitors. And so I'm going to start out by changing this joule right here, this 0.05 with this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on these tube sockets because you can damage them. So probably I'm going to cheat a little. I don't know if it's cheating, but I'm going to probably clip these off. Now, just have to make sure I remember where it goes. That's the important part. He's getting replaced with this. Let's go ahead. Pretty well set him up with the same length leads roughly. Now it's just a matter of getting him soldered in. So he's in, so I think that's all the capacitors on this side we have to change, except for these two, the big electrolytics for the power supply. So let's go ahead and knock them out while we're over here. And this side will be done. We can flip over and start on capacitors for the other side. Alrighty, I got that taken care of, and we have a flip it over. Here's a 2 microfarad capacitor here. Got to make sure to get this wire in with him that I got loose over here. I got to do this one. I got to do a couple over here. So I'll get them done. I'll come back. Okay, I've got all the capacitors changed. I went ahead and put the tubes back in. Everything is wired up. Should be good. I went ahead and put the dim bulb tester on so we could be a little bit safer bringing this thing up. It's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully no magic smoke comes out. So anyway, let me turn the dim bulb tester on. Let's turn this on. Not seeing any bright glowing here. Not seeing anything going on here. I do see some tubes glowing. Oh wait, I'm getting green on the eye. It's coming up. It's not real bright. All right, so we're probably going to be looking at a new eye tube, I imagine. That's pretty dim. I can hardly see it. I have to turn all the lights off to be able to see it. So nothing blew up. Of course, we are running on a dim bulb tester, so I'm going to say we're safe to go ahead and power it straight up. Let's bring her on. It's still looking pretty dim. Yeah, we're going to need an eye tube for this, I'm afraid. Okay, so as I said, power's up okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I went ahead and ordered a new eye tube. This thing is so dim. When it warmed up, it was even worse. I can hardly see it putting my hand over it. It's going to be hard to calibrate this thing. So I went ahead and I've got one coming. I'm going to wait for it to get here. It'll be a couple days. It'll be in this video. I'll just bring it right back in a moment. We'll put the new eye tube in where we can see, and we'll check this thing out. All right. We've got the capacitor checker back on the bench. I've set up the third camera so you can see what I'm seeing. The first thing I want to do is to get a comparison of these eye tubes. Give you an idea just how bright it is. It's quite bright. So yes. Now we can go ahead and calibrate. I'll come back and we'll pick up. Okay, got everything set up. There is a few general making sure it seems to work tests. We've already done that. We don't need to do that. And now we're supposed to do the bridge calibration. Now for the bridge calibration, what they want you to do is they want you to take a 200 ohm 1%. Got one right here. And let's see what it wants me to do. Okay. Set the range switch to RX1. It already is. And the bridge leakage switch to bridge. Okay, now it's on bridge. Set the gen switch to internal. Okay, we are. Press the knob bushing. Okay, this is before you put this on. They've already put that on, but that's how you calibrate. Adjust the shaft, maximum opening of the eye. Oh, okay, right there. Find the maximum opening you can get is what they want. Right there, I'm going to say. And then put it on so that it's on the one down here, but it's actually 200 right here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's 200. So that's 200 ohms. So it's the calibration on the bridge is great. That's it. What you do is when it's new, this isn't on, you put the bushing on and you turn till you get maximum opening, and then you put the knob with the pointer on at 200 to calibrate. Well, it's already been done, and apparently we haven't messed with it too much because it's dead on. Okay, so back to discharge. Always disconnect the resistor. It says, tells you to hang on to it for later in case you want to do future calibrations. Now we need to do the leakage calibration. There's two calibration procedures. You can do it with or without a milliamp meter. Second procedure. The first is satisfactory, but the one with a milliamp is more accurate. Well, let's do the milliamp one then. So to do it with a milliamp, I had to create this thing. It's a 1 meg pot. They want you to do 2 meg, but I added some. I didn't have a 2 meg, so I added some resistors. Give me 2 meg, and we're going to see if this is going to get us what we want. I'm kind of hoping it will. I've got our meter hooked up on milliamp. See what we do here. Do that. Turn the instrument on, let it warm up. Set to 50 volts. Electrolytic, I am. Bridge leakage to leakage. Adjust the 2 mega ohm until the meter reads 2 milliamps. I can't get 2 milliamps. So let's go down to resistance and see what we get if we go like here. Maybe down to here. Oh, there we go. 2 milliamps. Let's see. Ooh, touchy, touchy. So that's as close as I'm going to get without breathing on it until it gets right. Adjust the 2 mega ohm control till the meter reads to adjust the I tube to the just closed position on the top AD calibration control. So what they want me to do is get on the top control here, which I'm going to have to turn to see, which means you might not be able to see. Might be getting in everybody's way. I'm sorry. See if I can find the slot for the screwdriver in here. There he is. Okay, so I'm supposed to make it at 2 milliamps. I'm supposed to make it just be closed. So right there. Right there. Okay. Set the controls as follow. Mini-lect here. Reduce the voltage switch setting and rotate the 2 mega ohm until the meter reads 15 micro. Oh boy. We're going to have to go up in resistance now. There, I can get him there. Okay, 15. There we are. So get it down to 15 microamps. Just the I tube that just closed with the bottom. So now I've got to find the bottom one. I'm supposed to close it till he just closes. Let's see if we can get him. Now let's put it at paper mica. We need 2 micro, and you want this one on the reduce the voltage as necessary to get it. There he is. Set in with the just close with the center. Let's see if we can get him to close. Oh yeah, I get him to close. Get him to just close. Okay. That completes the leakage. Okay, I tube positioning. Okay, we're happy. I'm happy where the tube is turned there. Now it's just talking about doing measurements. That's the calibration. So this thing should be working. We should be able to throw some old capacitors on here and stuff and test it. Why don't we do that? Why don't I pull these? Let's just test some of the old capacitors out of this thing. Okay, so let's try this bad boy out here and see if he's any good. One of our electrolytic out of the power supply, okay? Got him hooked up the right way. 3 volts, leakage. Closing and opening. It's a decent sized capacitor, but he's not opening very good at 200. So I don't know if he's going to pass 350. No, I don't think that's going to pass. That's 250 and he can't even get it. He's struggling to try to even start to open up. There's 300. He's not even trying. 350, nope. No way that one's going to pass. So let's discharge him before we shock ourselves. All right. Some papers. And hook these up. Now this is 2.01s in parallel. So what's the voltage rating? They're 200 volt rating. So we're gonna, okay, that's good. No, as I thought, 100 volt, they're not opening. So no, leave these connected, discharge it. So no good there. Let's go ahead and try this one. These are rated for 200 volts. That's good capacitor. Just what I would have expected. I could almost point these capacitors out and tell you which ones are going to fill and which ones aren't. This part of the meter is working great. The bridge appears to be working. We can try the bridge real quick with something else. Let me grab a, oh here, let's just clip here to here and see what this is. According to my bridge, this is about 200K. I'm reading about 200. Sure I'm on the right scale. Yeah, 200K is what I think it is. So why don't we check that? Let me throw it up here quick. Keithley says it's 200K. Maybe you can see it on the camera over here. 0.2001319 mega ohms, which would be 200K. Pretty good. So I'm happy. All we got to do is get this thing back together, and I've got a fully functional, working great capacitor checker bridge. So let me grab the case. We'll put it together. We'll be done. All right, there we are, all back together. Looks good, in good shape, working like a champ. So hey, thanks for hanging out with me. If you liked what you saw, click a like, help me out. If you haven't subscribed, take a moment, click the button so that they'll let you know when I put out a new video. But most of all, I hope to see you in my next video.